Hi guys, welcome once again. Today we'll be resolving question on vector with our very first question on the board. Find the resultant vector of the given system below. This is the system. We have this system, this is an inclined force, this horizontally pressed force, this vertically pressed force, this inclined force, this inclined force. So we're going to be resolving it right away without wasting time. Solution. Of course, don't forget, by resultant vector, we mean that single vector that has the same effect as summation of every other vector acting in a given system. So with this, we are going to be resolving this vector in order to find our resultant into the vertical component and the horizontal component. And I'll be signifying Fy as my vertical component force, force or forces. Yeah, that those forces that act along the vertical, and my Fx as my horizontal component. Let me put comp forces. Then from here we can estimate our resultant. So let's go right in. Our Fy is going to be, let's come back to the equation or the system of forces. Now this is our, in a trigonometric ratio or in a trigonometric quadrant, this is our first quadrant. Here is our second quadrant, this is our third quadrant, and this is our fourth quadrant. And I want you to understand that whenever you are resolving forces around the vertical, you use F sine theta. That is a given force in the quadrant times the sine of the angle given. And if it is around the horizontal, you use F cos theta. So let's go right in. Now this force, we don't have anything much to do with this. Even if I'm to include it here, the angle here is 0 degree and it's going to be 10 that is 10 times sine 0, which will still be 0. So every horizontal force should be dealt with around the horizontal. So let's go to vertical. So here this force is going to be 12 sine 50 degree. We're done with this quadrant. Coming here, it is going to be plus 20. Now why do I just put 12? Because there's what we call ASTC. All are positive at the first quadrant: sine theta, cos theta, and tan theta. But only sine is positive at the second quadrant, tan is positive at the third quadrant, and cos is positive at the fourth quadrant. So second quadrant is plus 20 sine 40 degree. Then at the third quadrant, there's nothing to add. But this force is around the negative ordinates. So we're going to do minus 16. So you can, here is plus y, as here is minus y. You have plus x, as here is minus x in our Cartesian plane. So we're done with this force. We go to the last one, which is, of course, you need to understand the direction of the vector is the angle that the inclined line of force make with the horizontal. Since here is 30, what will you add to 30 to make it 90? This should be 60 degree. So we're going to be using this angle, this particular angle. So 90 minus 30 give you 60 degree. So with that, we have minus 15 sine 60 degrees. So let's go right in. This implies that our Fy is equal to 12 sine 50. Let me estimate it with calculator. 12 sine 50, everything will give us 9.19. Now 20 sine 40. Yes, here we have 12 point plus 12.86 minus 16. Then we have 15 sine 60. So that is minus 12.99. So here we're going to have 9.19 plus 12.86. That will be giving us, here we have 22.05 minus then 16. In addition to, because this minus 16 minus, they add it together and subtract. Minus 16 plus that is 16 plus 12.99. That will be giving us minus 28.99. So subtract it from 22.05. So you will be having that this will give us our Fy is equal to, minus 6.94 Newton. Yeah, we are correct. Reason being that this value is acting downward. That is what it shows. The force is negative because that is exerting at the negative ordinate. So that is what happened here. Then when we solve our Fx, so let's go to our Fx. For Fx, here we are going to add this 10. So 10 here, 12 sine 12 cos. So we are going to have plus 12 cos 50 degree. That is what happened here. Then to this other one, minus, because cos is negative here, minus 20 cos 40 degree. There's nothing to add here. Avoid this. So now to this other one, plus 15 cos 60 degrees. That will be giving us 10 plus 12 cos 50. 12 cos 50 give us plus 7.71. Yeah, then minus 20 cos 40. 20 cos 40 give us minus 15.32. Then 15 cos 60 give us 7.5 plus 7.5. So we're going to have 7.5 plus 10 plus 7.71. 7.71. So that will be giving us that my fx is equal to 25.21 minus 15.32. So subtracting 15.32, that will give us that our fx is equal to 9.89 Newton. Then solving for the general resultant. For the general resultant, this will give us, you have something like this. Yes, this is it. Of course, our force, the vertical force is pointing downward. That is right there. We're going to have our Fy, which is 6.94, pointing downward. Then the horizontal force is 9.89. So our resultant that they asked for. So your R is equal to square root of 6.94 squared, because this is giving us square root of Fy squared plus Fx squared. That's our formula. So this is plus 9.89 squared. Let me punch it direct without wasting time. So we have square root of 6.94 squared plus 9.89 square. Not 9.89. So everything here, our R is 12.08 Newton, approximately 12.10 Newton. So that's the final answer to this. Please like, share, and comment. Don't forget to drop your question if any. See you in my next video. Bye.